The light's going already, so this will be a very short video. But before I begin, for any conspiracy theorists watching who believe in chemtrails, look what happens when the warm air from my lungs meets the cold air out here. Ready? Did you see the chemtrail? That's debunked your conspiracy theory. Something I think that's very common, at least among people living in the West, is we tend to look at the generations which come after our own as being a bit softer, a bit mollycoddled, a bit less worldly wise. And most of the time that makes sense, because if we look at my grandparents' generation, they had their houses bombed and they fought the Nazis. Then my parents, who were boomers, when they came into the world, they were still rationing and they lived through the Cuban Missile Crisis. Next is my lot, Generation X. And when I went to school, we still had nuclear drills in case the Russians decided to atomise us. And my first two schools didn't even have heating. Then after the Gen X, there was the Millennials, and now Generation Z, or Gen Z if you're from the New World. However, if you're British and you say Gen Z, please be aware I will happily wrap a shovel round your head. For God's sake, man, speak the King's English. Gen Z often come in for a lot of flack, and to be fair, for some of them, that flack is well deserved with their safe spaces and pronoun badges. But it's worth remembering, these are people who've never lived at a time where there wasn't the internet. They've always had mobile phones. And also, they don't understand some old-fashioned things, because a video went viral online which was asking Gen Zers, what does this item do? It's Christmas, you'll see them around people's houses and in the shops. The weird thing though, although most of them didn't know what it did, they know it's called a nutcracker. Is it just me? Or is the name rather self-explanatory? Nutcracker, you use it to crack nuts. And there were comments saying that there's a lever on the back to make the mouth open really wide. Well, what do you think you're doing with that lever? Do these people struggle with other things? Do they think, oh no, all my clothes are dirty. If only there was some sort of machine for washing them. Or I need to put a screw into a piece of wood. I need something to drive it in. If only there was something called a screwdriver that wasn't a vodka and orange. But by far the strangest comments were from people saying, oh, he's a soldier, nutcracker must be his rank. In the British Army, it goes private, lance corporal, corporal, sergeant, staff sergeant, and carries on. What fucking army has the ranks where it goes private, lance corporal, corporal, nutcracker, then sergeant? It genuinely scares me that when I'm in the care home, that's going to be the generation of people looking after me. People who don't understand something when its name clearly states what it does. I guess now, if I asked them how do you crack a nut, they'd be looking for a fucking app to go on their iPhone. Other mobile or cell phones are available, such as Samsung. Sadly, there are so many young people now who don't know what gender they are, they don't know what sexuality they are. They're constantly making up new pronouns that make no fucking sense. They're getting brainwashed by TikTok, an app that's owned by the Chinese government, which is banned in China. But they can't use a simple hand tool with one moving part. Just look at that beautiful sunset. And sadly, so many youngsters will never get to see it because they spend their entire lives staring at their phones. Although I can't really criticise because right now I'm staring at mine, and when you're watching this, you're staring at yours. As ever, thanks for watching.